Yo, what's up, guys? RJ Steady Trades, another video. This time, going to be discussing the time frames that I like to trade on, how I like to chart the things out and stuff, and kind of some ideas around what I look for and why I like to use the higher time frames. I did a video on, the EMAs in higher time frames and how those provide context into my overall analysis or my thesis for the day. That's a very powerful video, so if you haven't checked that video out, be sure to watch that one. We'll link that one below. That's the 200 moving average video. So typically for me, whether I'm trading an equity or an index or indices, um, I like to begin my analysis from a very, very high time frame. Even though I'm a day trader, I'm still looking for context clues on higher time frames before I scale back to, say, a 5 minute chart and look for an entry. So I've charted out a basic example of a trade that I did take today on Netflix. And my thesis, I want to show you my thesis, my thought process kind of behind what, gave me the confidence to enter the position that I took today on Netflix. So I started out on a weekly time frame, and I'm looking for context around what's been going on with Netflix, right? From a very high time frame, has it broken out? Is it in a big consolidation phase like this? Is it sitting at a heavy area of resistance or support? All of these things are what I'm looking for, and so I can see right there, we this past week we hit a level of resistance, reversed off of it, and here we are presently now. So I'll mark that level, even though it's way up there. It's 20 bucks away from where we're currently trading at. It's still an area that's very important to me, in case I hold a runner or something, right? So I start on a weekly, and then I move my way down to a daily. And from the daily chart, this is what I marked up. So I can see we broke out of this consolidation. We also broke out of consolidation on the weekly time frame, and then we're beginning to chop around on a daily chart. And I can see the bottom of that price level is very attractive, and the top of that price level is very attractive, right? So any break beneath or break above, I'm going to look to enter this position more than likely, right? This is how I like to trade. It's just identifying key price levels on really high time frames, right? So we see multiple touches inside of this consolidation zone. We come down to this support level, we hold it, and we start to reverse today, right? So adding this context, right, looking at what the actual price is doing is what's intriguing to me. And then I have the very stout rejection on the weekly up here at this 251 level, and I know that I'm $20 away from that. There's no real fear today as a day trader, but if I'm going to hold a runner or if I'm looking to trade this gap fill, when we start trending towards that dollar amount, then I know that this level up here, obviously it's the top of the beginning of a gap, but it's also a weekly rejection level. So very significant level of interest there, right? Very significant price. So it's just relevant to me. It's not necessarily relevant today, but I'm going to add it nonetheless. So I'm looking for what can we do? What can we do inside of this zone? So now that I've charted out some stuff and I see I have two price levels that are attractive to me relative to where we're currently trading at, I'm not going to slap a line, way down here at the lows, because that's, $60 away from where we're trading at. It's a great area. However, it's just not where we're at. So it's not really relevant to me right now. I would, however, chart something like this right here, this pivot, which I could actually just go ahead and chart that for you guys now, and so we can see some potential downside targets, right? So from here, I'll scale back to lower time frames, right? I can go down to a 1 hour and see how do things look from a 1 hour standpoint. Right before the market open, I have some context already surrounding the 1 hour time frame. And then typically for me, if I don't see a ton of context around where we're currently trading at, like so here, I would mark the gap, obviously, and then work my way down some more. So from an hourly chart, I could go down to a 15-minute chart or a 30-minute chart. Sorry I missed this. I could have even went from a daily down to a 4 hour, right? And the levels that I've already charted on the daily are actually showing up for me well enough. So not every day is the same. Not every trade is the same. But it's not uncommon for me to start on a weekly, move down to a daily, a 4 hour, a 1 hour, you know, a 15-minute, 5-minute, and so on. It's I think the overall idea when you're charting these things out is you know, start on a high time frame, work your way down with whatever time frames you're comfortable, and you're just looking for the most confluence around price, because trading is all about price. We can't forget that, right? It's not so much about one specific price, it's just price in general. Where is it very attractive at? We can obviously see in this area price is extremely attractive, right? So that's why I marked those levels. And then from there, I'm down to the 1 hour, as I said, and then we see we're in that zone still. So then I dial back to a 5-minute chart where I'm looking to enter the trade. And my levels are charted nearly perfectly. And I can see we come down. We begin to consolidate. We try to break out of this consolidation up here this day on the 23rd, and then immediately reject and fall right back into it. So I don't want the same thing to happen to me again. So as we break here, I want to see us be able to get above this area now, right? On a small time frame, something you won't be able to see on a high time frame. This will just be a wick, right? But on a 5-minute, I can dial it in for day trading, and I can see where is the price that I need to get above, and I would mark that level as such. And if I blow this up for you, you will see that we push up above that level, fake right back down, get above it, and then we hold it, right? Once we hold it, there's my trade, right? And we're taking this right to high a day. But the point is that all of that context was provided to me on the higher time frames, right? Not necessarily on the 5-minute or just a 15-minute. While I'm not opposed to just using one single time frame, I think, you know, some people can be very successful doing that. And I'm not knocking it or saying it's impossible. This is just what I like to do. I like to start on a high time frame, find the areas of confluence, right? Find where price is very attractive on the high time frames, because the example I would give you is if a 5-minute chart is consolidating at a price level versus an hour chart that's consolidating at a price level, which price do you think is more significant, right? So that's the reason why I like to, obviously the hourly, right? Obviously the daily is going to be more significant than a 5-minute chart, right? So not taking away from how important the 5-minute level would be, but you know, if price is hovering somewhere for a longer period of time, that would mean that price is more attractive, if that makes sense, right? So that's why I like to start top down, right? Work my way down from a high time frame to a lower time frame, and then wait for the clues on the low time frames, such as a 5-minute. I typically will not go lower than a 5-minute time frame, just because of, you know, the emotional control there. If I go down to a 3 or a 1, I myself get a little bit more antsy. I get a little bit more jittery. I'm likely to stop out of a trade quicker because it just moves so volatile. 5-minute is comfortable for me. It's where I like to sit at. So we break, I take my trade. I'm happy. And so I think you could get good at this if you practice this every single day. You chart on high time frames, work your way down, and watch how the market unfolds the next day according to the levels that you charted. If you see things playing out, well, then you're doing it correctly. If not, you know, just keep working at it and you'll get there, I promise. If not, you can always reach out to us. We can help you. We offer one-on-one classes. Yeah, so let us know. Hope you guys liked the video. If you have any questions, as usual, reach out to us. Thank you.